Hey guys, today I attempted a character design challenge. Keyword being attempt. So I've seen several artists do this on YouTube where they take a prompt for a character and then they design it. So I was like, hey, I'll jump on that bandwagon. Didn't realize it would be as much of a disaster as it was. But my prompt was, the god of war takes the form of an adult man with the head of a squid. He is very tall and has a wide-chested build. His outfit is covered in shield designs and is that of a fighter, and he carries a bag. So just so that I would remember all that, I put it in my Photoshop file right up at the top, but I never looked at it again, so I kind of forgot a few things. But we're going to ignore that part because we have so much weird stuff to look at on the screen. Just look at it. Look at that. Okay, but one thing I did find out that I thought was actually kind of cool was I learned that if I pulled his tentacles, are they called tentacles on a squid? I think so. Anyway, when I pull those things up and like over his head and like looking at you, it looked really menacing, so I decided to go with that as like his key feature was that he holds his like tentacles up, like kind of like a spider, you know, like with his front legs. They're not, yeah, or hers, whatever. And she just looks freaky. So I thought that actually looked really, really cool. And I decided to give him a harpoon because he's a squid and he spends a lot of time in the water, so he's gonna have a harpoon. And the other thing was I gave him a Speedo because, first of all, his outfit was supposed to be that of a fighter, and I'm not sure if this really counts, but I thought like Street Fighter, and sometimes they have those outfits where they look like they're in their underwear. So Speedo and Street Fighter mixed together, I got this. So and then I covered it in like designs like shield. So basically I looked up like references of shields, and sometimes they have that sort of like quarterly section design where in each like the top left corner, the top right corner, the bottom left corner, and the bottom right corner each have like its own design in it with like a bright color, and I decided to use turquoise and yellow for that, and you'll see that when I get to that part when I'm coloring. But I used like a design like that. I'm actually kind of happy with that. Like, all the little elements seem to like make sense to me, but when you put it all together, it's kind of weird. So that's why every time I look at this, I start laughing. So I'm actually kind of trying not to watch my video at the same time. But I mean, look at it. Look at that head. That's my favorite part. You can see I like the way this squid head turned out, like with it's almost like a beard, kind of like Davy Jones in Pirates of the Caribbean, but then he also has that squid thing that comes off the back of his head, and he's got these huge squid eyes on the sides of his head that just sort of like point outwards, and it looks kind of like, he kind of looks like he'd be really goofy, but he also looks really, really mean. So I kind of like the way that turned out, and maybe if I was better at drawing dudes, this would have turned out a little better, but you know, practice makes perfect, right? But I don't ever feel like I'm going to be drawing another squid man again. I don't even know why I drew him in the first place, but yeah, there it is. I had all those ropes from the harpoon come up, and they're like bunched in his other hand, even though you can't see it. And then I made his eyes this red and yellow color, because I was like, that makes him look really freaky and like filled with wrath, because he's the god of war. Oh, so here I am adding those textured designs to his Speedo, and like, I like all the little, like I said, I like all the little elements of it, but once it's put it all together, it's a little, yeah. And then the colors could really use some help, and I think I need to figure out something with color theory so that I can figure that out. I added some green to his skin and like these spots to sort of make him look like he's sort of translucent, and like, I don't know what that word is. Like in the deep sea, there's lots of like fish and aquatic mammals and things that they're not, I don't think there's any mammals down there, but there's fish down there and they like glow, and I can't remember the word. It's like translucent, but that's not the word. Anyway, I tried to add that to him. That's what all the little spots are, and basically it. But then I finished it and realized that not at this point, this is when I'm just adding the sash sort of last minute, but I realized that I forgot to like the last line, it has its own sentence, he carries a bag, and I totally forgot. So here I am just adding that in just over the top. It's not included in the original line art, but I added it, and this means I have to be very careful where I'm putting it so that it doesn't like cover over anything else. And there's that. Yeah, hey, I made it through the audio. I've tried this like 8 times and I always start insulting myself, so I did it. I did it! Yes! Anyway, I encourage you all to try character design, and maybe not share it on the internet when it turns out like this, but I'll stop it by being so mean to myself. Okay, here it is. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys all next week in a better video, I promise, okay? I hope you all have a delicious evening. Bye!